Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody, my name is Orchidea Cantika. I'm a student of English Department at Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. On this special occasion, I would like to deliver my presentation to you about how to stop delaying study. So, without any further ado, let's get started. One thing that must be understood is this world only divided into people who do not delay and who do not like to delay. Simple put, everyone like to procrastinate or delay. The things that distinguish between a person's success and failure from how they can manage procrastination properly. Now, we understand that the procrastinating is something we can control. So, let's move into the tips. The first tips is visualization. We can imagine or visualize two things. The first is ourselves in the future. Try to imagine what we can do today that make us thanks to ourselves in the future. For example, try to learn about business, to learn about many language or other things in order to improve our skills today. So in the future, we will be grateful and thanks to ourselves. The other things we can do is try to imagine our role model. For example, when we are in the lazy situation for study, try to imagine our role model. For example, Maudy Ayunda. What would Maudy Ayunda do in this situation? For the reason, visualizing can help our brain to generate ideas to solve the current problem. Also, by visualizing, we apply the concept of fake it till you make it. At first, we just imitate until finally we can manifest it in your life. The second tips, dopamine manipulation or manipulate dopamine. Dopamine is the hormone of being happy and the desire to do it again and again. It appears usually when we can complete the tasks that we have planned in the day. In studying, we really need dopamine. The practical example to manipulate dopamine is when we get 100 question assignment from our lecturer and the deadline still a week later. Instead of waiting for motivation to do a whole question at one time, it's better if we break this problem into several parts. For example, we do 10 questions first. After we finish it, we add more 10 questions until we can finish a whole question. So, breaking something big into small can release our dopamine hormone, so we can always be motivated to solve rather than waiting for motivation to do a whole question at one time. Next to the third tips. The third tips is don't underestimate. If we got a task from our lecturer, don't underestimate the task by saying we can finish it at one time, because in reality it's often wrong. The task is even more difficult than we think and takes longer than we imagine. So try to estimate our processing time and doubling it. For example, we assume that we can finish the task for 3 hours, so doubling it. 3 hours times 2 equals to 6 hours. So, we need 6 hours to finish the task. By doubling our prediction, there is an additional time to evaluate and think about our tasks that we have done. In conclusion, when we estimate the task to take longer, then we think there is an urgency to start or finish it immediately. The fourth tips is better finish than perfect. Sometimes what makes us procrastinate is because we won't finish it well and perfectly. So we didn't start as soon as possible. I will start work if I have this. I will start work if I have that. In the end, we didn't doing anything and we work on the day before the deadline. And we thought this assignment didn't need to be perfect. And it's too late. Remember of Parkinson's law, work expand so as to fill time available for its completion. So, the long time we give to the task, the less energy is expended, and vice versa. Therefore, we must get started as soon as possible. The last tips is feel the boredom or feel the bored situation. Most of us, whenever we are in a bored situation, we feel it with short dopamine impulses by scrolling social media, get notification, and so on. Even though the creative ideas appears when we are usually didn't doing anything and in a bored situation. So maybe the practice is we can doing other activity when we are in a bored situation. For example, gardening, maybe walking in a park, or cooking without smartphone. So feel and present the boredom, not just face screening all day long. I think that's all. Some tips to stop delaying study or being procrastinator. It's quite difficult to avoid procrastinating, and you need to realize that everyone goes through with procrastination phase. But the method above, the tips above, will make it easier to avoid it. It should be remember what the distinguish between people who are a success and who are not from how they can manage properly the procrastination. Thank you for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.